Let's go to Sweden. Alex in Sweden, thanks for holding. You're on the air on this Monday edition. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you for all the work you've been doing in here in Europe. We're really taking a lot of advantage of your information. I started around 2006 with alternative media in Sweden, and you were one of the first I was following.
Well, that was my goal, was to get people to take action and was to spur folks to engage in leadership. And so if you're saying I did that, I'm very thankful for your, for your call and saying it, because that's been my goal.
Yeah, and I know I was supposed to talk about censorship. I just want to shortly say that I know people in Europe are still following you. It's a little bit harder since before because of all the censorship. A lot of people have been following you on YouTube and Twitter, and they don't get you on their feeds anymore. Most people are using cell phones nowadays. So I myself got your app because I started following you more closely again a few weeks ago. And I want everyone in Sweden and Europe following you to try and support you. I know you have shipping costs if you want to buy stuff from USA, but still see if you can buy some movies or stickers or whatever. Or I sent you donations previously, but I guess they closed your PayPal maybe. I couldn't find it anymore. No, they closed everything. And I say we're under attack. It would take hours to go through all the attacks. But yeah, people, they took away the Apple app when it went to #1 in news, 3 million downloads. But people that got it still have it. A couple million downloads on the Droid, that's still there with Google. It's linked at Infowars.com/show, Infowars.com/app. But yeah, just the word of mouth of people in Europe and places explaining that, go to Infowars.com/show, we're still on the air. And in fact, in some ways we've expanded, in other ways we've contracted. But it's definitely the White House is listening. Our banning made a lot of governments and important people listen. So kind of our influence increased. Our general populist outreach decreased, but it's been quite a fight. What do you think about the influence of China? I mean, I know they're a big part of the EU takeover. They're a big part of what's happening to Sweden, the Islamic invasion. What I know from China is just what I've been seeing in Sweden that you might not know. They're buying up a lot of companies to working with sensitive technology, and it hasn't really been stopped because the Swedish security police have been too slow or just letting it happen. Like a lot of companies spearheading on, because Sweden has a lot of high-tech companies with microchips and like special metal alloys and everything they've been buying up. And Sweden got into conflict with China because China arrested some author, I think is Swedish citizen or has stays in Sweden at least. And then they tried to stage some like fake news event in Sweden. They sent some Chinese tourists to a hotel in Stockholm, and they came there on the wrong day. They booked like for Saturday, and they came on a Friday or something. And they were very upset, started a problem in the lobby, and they ended up, the police had to take them out and drop them off somewhere in the street.
And then China, like Smollett, I saw that, said, oh, look, they don't like Chinese in Sweden.
That became a big news in China. There was someone like linked that on some Chinese.
Tell you what, I want people to hear about this, because China programs Netflix. I'm not kidding. All this Jussie Smollett stuff is China. And so they're even doing the same thing to Swedes with Chinese, like the Swedes don't like Chinese. By the way, Brian Stelter's show on the weekend only had 500,000 viewers. Now it has 250,000. Primetime weekend show, 250,000 viewers. I mean, we have over 1 million on radio stations tuning in every hour. The guy is a joke. Millions every day over the internet, despite all the censorship. But that's their delusion. Now, the caller from Sweden, then I'll hurry through the other calls. Alex brought up the fact that, yeah, China is engaged in oppression of Swedish citizens that are over there. And then they have this big falling out. China and Sweden, a diplomatic row or fight after family brutally evicted from hotel lobby. China kills political dissidents on the street, sells organs, has millions in death camps. But they'll use social media when they want to make Sweden look bad, knowing how SJW Sweden is, saying, oh, look, you know, we send in these Chinese operatives, they act like they're thrown out. You know, the biggest group of tourists here in the United States is Chinese women. They come here to have their babies who become U.S. citizens, and everything's paid for. Even CNN admits that. So it just breaks down how China owns Hollywood, controls Netflix. That's why there's all these shows are like Jussie Smollett type deals where whites are all evil and minorities are all being attacked. That's the Chinese who, the communists, who are some of the most racist insular people in the world, they don't let anybody mess with the Chinese culture. They've got 2 million Muslims in forced labor camps, the Uyghurs. But they know how to punch American and Swedish buttons. You want to finish commenting on that, Alex? Thanks for holding over from Sweden.
Yeah, actually, I want to say something else just shortly, because I think it's the biggest, every day of the year, the biggest news is how you got censored on the platform and how you're considered a dangerous person on Facebook. So I think people should really think about what did you do to achieve that status. You must be the biggest threat. And I think people should try and like fill the void where you get censored and at the same time support you to go to the next step, because they did this censoring for some reason. So people should really look into it if they want to win the fight.
Well, that was the whole point of this talk today. It's because I'm focusing on China, allied with the multinationals, owning Hollywood, literally taking over our countries. And again, the Chinese people are great people. It's the Chinese communists that are so soulless, enslaving and dominating their own population.
I have one more idea before you go to next caller. I know what you did many years ago when you were still active on social media. You had these Google bombs or Twitter bombs, and now you don't have your own platform to spread your own material. But you could use a similar method to maybe boost the best tweet of Trump of the week or something, to really make like hundreds of thousands more retweets and they will get really annoyed if you're like even affecting anything in social media, even if you're banned. The elite wouldn't like it, and they can't really ban Trump from Twitter. If you boost someone else, they can ban them, but Trump, I don't think they can ban him. So
no, you're absolutely right. That's a fabulous idea, and I've thought about that. Google changed their algorithm to stop the Google bomb, where we could put a term out and make it #1 whenever we wanted to. I sure wish we would have used that more before they stopped their system to block it. But we could create hashtags that link to something new that we've done. Then they'll have trouble suppressing that hashtag. But I agree. We should do things like pick Trump statements or Trump tweets and get that information out. Thank you so much for the call, Alex. And again, great callers like Alex out there.